Good morning. Hola.
Hola.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Bonjour. I don't know if I know how to say hello in any other languages. You got any other languages for us?
No, I don't think
No, we're going to have, okay, listeners, if you have another language of how to say hello, welcome, you have to send it to me. Anyway, welcome to Voices to Dream. I'm Suzanne Mann, the challenge girl. And a little bit different today. I'm not joined by Richard Harris, the author. I'm joined by someone else, a special co-host. Richard is very busy doing surgery in Australia. So I've got Misty Haynes.
Haynes, yes. Hello, everybody.
Misty Haynes with me. We are recording from the Bahamas.
Yes, we are. We need some little frozen drinks.
Goodness, I know.
Water's not cutting it.
Oh, we've got
What were
water
we
here. So
thinking?
for our YouTubers, we're drinking water. For our listeners on Apple Podcast and Spotify, all those other ones, we are totally sitting here drinking margaritas. Yeah.
Delicious.
The beach is in the background. The sun's shining on us.
Yes.
Totally living the Bahamian life. Okay, so we have a fabulous episode set for today. We're about to start recording with our guest, but yes, first I wanted to introduce Misty. Misty knows our guest and was how I found out about her. So where are we going to be traveling to, Misty?
Today we're going to be traveling to a little suburb outside of Lima, Peru called Sinagia is the name of the little town. Or they actually name the cities, but Lima is the overshadowing, I guess you would say, name of where it is.
Fabulous, and Misty has an intimate knowledge of here because you've lived there.
Yes, we lived there for about 3 years.
I love it.
Yes.
Love it. So it's going to be a really interesting interview. Hope you enjoy it. Coming up, stay with us. We're traveling to Peru. So welcome back to Voices to Dream. We have a special co-host with us, Misty Haynes, and Misty is going to introduce our guest for today for us as well. Welcome,
Hello,
Misty.
everybody. So today we have Miss Ria Bosch, and she is coming to us from a little suburb outside of Lima, Peru. Ria, is your house that you live in, is it considered Lima or where?
Yes, it's considered Lima. Yeah, we're in the outskirts of Lima, but we're still in Lima.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew, I wasn't sure because the school that you are a part of, Brazos Abiertos, it is actually in Sinagia.
Yeah, that's right. It's like 10 minutes away from us, but it's another district. And it's
District.
totally
That's the
different.
word. I couldn't think of the word district.
Okay,
It's
so it's
English like that as well. Yeah.
like a suburb, but in a district of Lima.
Yes,
Okay.
that was the word I couldn't think of.
Well, Ria, we're going to get to we want to hear from you what your story is and how you're coming to us. But first we're going to do something that we call a little check-in. And that's just to sort of create a safe space and see how we're all feeling first to start. And so I'm going to put Misty on the spot and I'm going to ask Misty first. How are you checking in this morning, Misty?
I'm actually doing well. My kids have one more day of school today and tomorrow, and then we're off on holiday for a little over a week. So I see the finish line to having a little break. So I'm doing pretty good today, I would say.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes. And what about you? How are you checking in?
Well, I am, you know what? I have had a very busy few months. That's why that's one of the reasons why Voices to Dream has not had quite as many episodes recently because I've just moved from Australia. But I'm living here, and as much as I do, I miss my friends and my family. I really love them, but I really love the new adventure that's come with the Bahamas and meeting new people, and everyone here is so beautiful and friendly, and they have such a beautiful energy and heart about them. So I really I feel very blessed. That's how I'm checking in. I really feel blessed this morning. So yeah. And our guest, Ria, how are you checking in today?
Hey, good morning. Well, I'm doing good. Yeah. I have, which is a good thing after COVID. My in COVID time, we were like 2 years in lockdowns and stuff. And me and my husband, we started the routine of doing exercise every morning at 5:30. Well, this morning I couldn't make it 5:30, but we did it, and it was really. It's always nice to start like that and have some time with God. And if my kids, some went to school, some are studying here, and yeah, doing well. I'm grateful and thankful, and the sun is out today, so yes,
That's a big deal in Lima this time of
Oh,
year.
is it?
in the winter
Yes.
time. It is.
Oh, beautiful.
Very
Oh,
gray.
that's so good. Well, hopefully between Lima, Peru and the Bahamas, hopefully we're sending sun out to everywhere that needs it at the moment.
Yes.
Yes.
All of our listeners, because
Yes.
I know in Australia there's a lot of rain still. So hopefully we're going to bring the sunshine into everyone's day. If not physical sunshine, then with our energy. And I'm totally with you, Ria, because well, 4 days a week I get up at 4:30 to exercise. So
Oh my, you
I,
win.
best
You
way,
win. You
best
win the
way
brownie.
to start the day. I love it. Okay, well, Ria, I guess we wanted to start. I love having our guest tell their story because you can tell it better than we can, better than us reading a bio or anything like that. Now, you do not sound or look like you're Peruvian. So
I know.
I guess I'm wondering,
100% not.
can you tell us your story? Where are you from? How did you come to be in Peru? And then I know that you have a very special school that you are working at. Now I've got to make sure I say it. Brazos Abiertos.
Yeah, correct. Brazos abiertos. It's translated like open arms.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it over to you to tell us a bit about
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm from the Netherlands, so it's kind of far away. It's like a 13-hour flight from Peru. I'm from the Netherlands. I grew up in a Christian family, and when I was a small girl, I remember I was dreaming like, oh, one day I would love to go out to these little dark children and help them. Which made me do my career as a nursing degree. I got a nursing degree, did my education, etc. And always with a desire to serve God and to go somewhere where God would send me. I was kind of bored easily as well at home and stuff, so I'm always open for adventures. Well, I tried out. I remember I was like in my 20s, early 20s. I got a 6 week holiday because I did another, I was working on another degree. I got a 6 week holiday, so that's my chance. I go to Africa and work there among the poor in a little hospital I could work. I went there and I was so discouraged because I came there and it was just raining and I hardly spoke English and I just felt so lonely.
Mm,
But there was something in me like that said like, but I can handle this. With God, I can handle this. And somehow it's very interesting actually. My dream didn't like go away. You say it like this in English. So I kept on working for that. I did a course in tropical nursing and went for 1.5 years to India. I worked in Calcutta,
wow. Yeah.
the city of joy. People really living on the streets. What a poverty there. I worked there as a nurse, which wasn't easy, but was so nice. I learned so much from the poor, actually. Like
Mm.
being poor, just having this big smile on their face, was really good. I came back because I really like, I felt like, Lord, I want to serve you, but it's so tough to do it by myself because often people see your white face and they put you in leadership, etc. And I really didn't feel like kind of ready for that. So I worked for 7 years in a rehab center in the Netherlands, which I love to do. I still love to do
What
every
sort of
time I get
rehab?
it.
Like physical rehab or?
No, sorry, it's a rehab for addictions, for
Ah,
Okay.
guys
yes.
with drug addictions, alcohol addictions, any eating disorders, whatever.
Hmm.
So I work there. I still work there. When we are in the Netherlands, I will always go there and work there. But then my prayer was like, Lord, I really want to serve you, but not by myself. Please send me a great husband. And I had my list with like 10 points, like it should be this, should be this, it should not. And I found him.
Did he tick off all of the list? Was it like yes, yes, yes?
Yes, he did. He did. Just I'm still really, really good with him, really happy with him, really blessed with him. Yeah. So long story short, together we got married, we got our first son, we did our DTS, discipleship training school for missionaries in New Zealand, because we really want to travel in New Zealand, so it's nearby Australia.
Yeah.
And there we just prayed, Lord, where should we go? And Jordi always, is my husband, always had a heart for Peru, to work in Peru. He had been there, and he really, I didn't have. I was more like in India, and but then it doesn't matter. Wherever we can go together and
So
serve God,
true.
that's okay. That's okay. It's just for the glory of God. So we went for 3 years. My second son got born. We went for 3 years to Colombia to learn the language, to learn how to work as a couple in missions. We worked with YWAM, Youth in the Mission, which is very good, helped us to learn a little bit the language as well. And then we arrived in Peru like almost 12 years ago. And shall I share a little bit how we ended up here in Peru?
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
okay, 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 thank you. So we arrived here. Actually, we had a burden to help families in need, because in Colombia we already started the Brazos Abiertos ministry, just passionate to share God's passion for the brokenness of families. And we found other people who want to join us. So with five, and a girl from the States and a couple from Colombia, we arrived here in Peru. And we arrived in Cieneguilla, more like not in the place where we work right now, but in the pueblo, in the village. Maybe Missy, you've seen it when
Yes,
you work.
yes.
Yeah, it's really nice there. And every time when we would go to Cieneguilla and or Lima, you go to Lima for shopping, we would pass this huge slum area, and our hearts always were like, oh, horrible! What's going on there? Sometimes we saw fights there and stuff, and so we
Can
really had
you,
a burden for.
sorry to interrupt, can you
Sorry.
describe, like, when you're saying a slum area, how does that look? I mean, I've seen the video. So,
Yeah,
how does the slum look?
yeah, yeah. It's just desert area, and there are no paved roads, there are no flowers, no trees, and just wooden sheds.
Hmm.
Wooden sheds, just like, and no running water,
I was
nothing at
about to say
all.
no running water. That's the most devastating
Yeah,
part.
yeah. And house after house after house. And so it touched your heart. And then we saw these fights as well going on between them, because there seemed to be different settlements, neighborhoods. And so one day my husband went there with our colleague, and he said, he looked for the leaders, and he said, how can we serve you? Can we help you? Can we serve you? And they said, can you please do something for our little children? The children were helping their moms in the recycling in the dump, because actually the slum area is a big hole, because they took out the sand to build Lima, and the big hole, they were
Oh,
filling it up with rubble. And they still do, but it's almost all like plain area right now.
yeah.
But that's where the poor people find their living, and they can purchase a piece of land for a cheap price. It used to be cheap. That's incredible right now. So lots of poor people were there, and not only people who purchase a land, as well people who are taking care of the land, the property that somebody purchased. The really poor people, like single moms, etc., they would find like the little shed there. They could stay there until they were kicked out. So they asked us, can you help us with the little children? We are not teachers. We're not. I'm a nurse. My husband is a social worker, but we just felt like we should do this, because this is the best way to reach out to the whole family, isn't it? If you work with
Mm.
small children.
That's
So
my
they gave us
one
a
of
little.
my favorite parts, Ria, is that you
Uh-huh.
guys rehabilitate families. And I think
Uh,
for me, to help the kids is one thing, but to help the parents rise up is so
yeah,
amazing.
Mm.
Very
yeah.
amazing.
It's true, because if you really want to see changes in a family, you have to work with each family member, not just with a mom or not just with a dad, but with the whole family, right? Yeah.
That's right.
So that's how we started. They gave us a little shed just on the sand floor. I remember little children. We invited them in. They would just pee on the floor, and that was how it was, how we started. But then, like right now, 11 years later, 12 years later, we have a school, we have a preschool, we are registered every day. We receive 160 children in their uniform coming to our school.
They
They
have
have
the
manners.
cutest uniforms.
We're able to educate them. And I think that's where we're at now. And that's all happened in like these 11 years. And it's really by the faithfulness of God and by us working really hard and
Yeah.
For sure.
serving up and having friends like Misty,
Yeah.
energizing us as well and helping out and yeah, being a blessing. Yeah.
But
Oh.
now, Ria, you have three children of your own.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How do you balance it? I mean, how do you balance running a charity school, helping all of these families, plus your own family as well?
Yeah, well, actually, it's not that hard. They've always been a part of the ministry. I always took them like Hannah, my little girl was 1 year, not even a year old, and I just took her on my arm because these ladies always have the kids with them as well. So I will teach the woman, do like some crafts with them, and always have my girl with me, but always balance. Like my family is always on the first place. So
Mm-hmm.
if the Peruvians can go on forever and ever with their kids, I'm not. I'm not like that. I will go home, make sure they get a nap, and I have some time as well to do other things. And I always go with the schedule of my children. So right now, when they're in homeschool, I make sure they're doing their work and stuff, and I can go from 11 till like 3. I go to work, and then we come home, have a coffee together, and help them with their studies, etc. But it's just like organizing well. I think if you organize, if you start your day early,
Yeah.
do a lot of things and try to, I think we always try to say like to our children to teach them like we are not, it's not just us doing missions, it's us as a family, like we're a
Mm-hmm.
family ministry. So we really want to serve as a family as well. Well, my boys are teenagers, they're 15, 14 and 16 right now, so they don't always like to go to Brazos. I understand it very well. So we just try to find them the things that they like to, that they're interested in. So one of our sons is leading games, doing sport activities with children. The other one is editing videos. Hannah, our youngest one, she's 11. She loves to take care of the baby. So on Sunday, she will always be in the daycare for the little children. And yeah, just we find a
Yeah.
way
Her daughter
to involve
Hannah,
them.
we attended the same church, and her daughter Hannah, when I would work in the nursery at the church, Hannah knew everything. She was little. I don't even know, like that's been a long time ago. But she
Yeah.
was one of the kids that was in the group, but Hannah was always right by me. You could tell that
Yeah.
she was her mother's helper. And she would say, "Oh, well, this is how you do this." And then I would always think,
Oh,
"Please
is
let Hannah
it?
be at church today so that I'll know what to do." Because she's so great. She's a great kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, how does okay? I have so many questions actually, but how does being a missionary work? I mean, how does do you get paid? Do you how does it how do you keep yourself going to be able to
Uh-huh.
then help others as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Well, it depends. Some missionaries get paid by their organization. We are here with YWAM, Youth with a Mission, which means we are under the umbrella of YWAM, their values, etc. And we find other workers who will come to us, etc. But the payment, we don't get paid. We don't have a stable payment like a salary every month. We don't have.
Yeah.
We are responsible for every soul or every dollar that has to come in for the work we are doing, but as well to maintain our own family. And has been hard. It's been hard, but it's kept us really on our knees, praying God to provide. And it's amazing. He is so faithful. Actually, we don't lack anything. We are so fine, and God's taking care of our needs as well, through friends, through churches, through family members. Yeah,
So
yeah,
everything that you're getting and the school is getting is all completely donations.
totally, completely. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it's coming in from not only from the Netherlands, from the States as well, but it's so nice from Peru as well. And that's really what our desire is, that the Peruvians stand up more and more to help their people. And it's amazing. Right now, we are organizing a huge event, the run and the feria, the fair. It's so nice how the municipalidad, the municipality,
the
is
municipality, yeah.
helping. is helping out us because they know us, they know the good work we do, and they're just such a blessing to us and
Yeah.
helping us out where they can. They'll never give money. Peru will never give money, but they will support us in other ways, like helping, giving, sending people, sending materials and stuff, which is really nice. Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. So, we're going to talk a little bit later about how our listeners can help support you specifically. But I guess I wanted to know as well a bit more about. So, you said that, like, that you support the whole family and you've got the
Yeah.
preschool. What are some of the what are some of the other things that you do? How are you supporting the women and the teenagers? One of the things I just wanted to so I've had a look at your website,
Yeah.
and I was so thankful that I figured out the English button, because at first I got on it and I'm like, it's all in Spanish. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
But then, so for any listeners that don't speak Spanish, you can actually then push the English button. But I guess one of the things as well, I mean, we're called Voices to Dream, and I'm all about, I guess for me, dreaming is how you have hope. Everything starts with a dream. And I loved that you were talking about on the website the teenagers being challenged, and teaching them to say, yes, I can. Yes, I can do this. And because you said there, teach them to dream and focus on the possibilities in life, not get stuck in poverty, both physically and emotionally.
Mhm.
Like, can you
Yeah.
tell us a bit more about how you do that to all the different parts of the family?
Well, I think that's so true. And I think it all begins so often with a mom and the climate she brings into the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Um,
powerful.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. I hope the noise is not bothering because they're doing some construction.
We can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Look, if a mom is not educated, like I have a mom and she told me literally, I am nothing because I don't know anything. I didn't study. I only went to like third grade or something of primary school. And I was like, what? So there's where we have to start because that's what they transmit to their children.
Mm.
And they're so vulnerable for depression, for being abused, etc., etc., because of having such a low self-esteem. So for me, it's so important to work with the moms, and that's what we do on Wednesdays. We have our workshops for mothers. We invite them. They can come. I always organize with volunteers who are coming over from Lima, from schools, moms that want to serve as well. They will come in, teach crafts, do a kitchen workshop. We have a sewing
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was
atelier.
involved in, was the sewing, and it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
neat. And then we were able to have home shows like you would see in other places, but it would be the ladies. Ria would always make sure that the women that had worked on the things like placemats, table runners, and we would have like a little home show out of our home, and the ladies would be there to sell their wares, but they had made all of it, and it
Yeah.
was by the community members that
yeah,
had taught them how to sew. Ria has been around the world finding fabric and getting the good deals
yeah,
on all of the
yeah.
materials.
So it's not just teaching them a craft. It's teaching them a craft that they can then earn a living with.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's breaking through something because yeah, the yo si puedo, yes I can. That's where we wanna be with, right?
Mm.
Like they come in like oh shy and because I thought start working with them. There's so many women. They will have like friendship here and there, but it's not. They're so lonely. They're often depressed. They come from the jungle. They come from the mountain, and they're all here in this slum area, and there's lots of gossiping going on, etc., etc. So many things we have to break, right? To
Mm.
have a better living. So we invite them in, and we offer them these workshops. And I always take advantage of the little break. We share a snack, and I always share something. Last weeks 5 weeks I have been sharing with them how to deal with the pain in your heart, the hurt in your heart. They're often they known as the possibility to go to psychologists or whatever, so they're just stuck up with their pain and
Mm.
depression, etc. So we always take advantage of these things, and how to deal with teenagers, how to deal with your children, etc. So I think it's a really important thing to start there with moms, and we've seen amazing changes. Last week, one lady, she came to the group because we took her out of her house. We didn't see her anymore for 2 years, over 2, 3 years, because of COVID. She had gone to the mountains. Now she was back, locked up in her house, but she's
Yeah.
3 children. So one of our workers went and got her, and she says, "No, I didn't want to come. I'm just crying all day in my house, just locking herself up." And
Oh my
then
goodness.
she came one time, two times, and then she was like, "I really need to talk with someone. I don't have anybody to talk with." I said, "Well, if you want, you know me. I'm always available. Just let me know. But please don't keep on going like this." Yeah, I want to talk with you. So she talked to me, and wow, that's the thing. Like to take them out of their house, push them a little bit, and to if they open up, and I
Mm-hmm.
could find her a coach, a Peruvian friend here, a friend from Argentina. She's living in Peru, and she's volunteering with us for like every 2 weeks. She comes a day over, and I will send it to her because she has some
Yeah.
really anxiety problems. But this is the thing, right? To sow into their lives and just take them out of their house and to bring color, bring life again to their
Mm.
lives are often so in depression. And actually, it's the same for teenagers and for dads who are sometimes caught up in their circle to just sow into their life, do fun things, speak their language. I think that's the most important thing. Speak their language. With women,
Yeah.
it's crafts. With men, they have to do games and they have to eat food, of course. Teenagers do sports, but
Yes.
you
Or
don't
even
relate
like
with
your
them.
club room that you have for the teens. And I think
Yeah,
even as a mother myself and raising 3 children, the sadness that you feel, I wasn't from an oppressed life, but I needed a place to go when my children were
yeah,
young. And you
Mm.
go and to be around other women and to have fellowship, I think is something that you guys are providing that is
Yeah.
very, very valuable to hear other
yeah,
women say, yes, it's hard, but
Yeah.
look, I've learned
yeah,
how to cook these things. They have a huge kitchen
Yeah.
at Brazos Abiertos that I love to be around all the women in because cooking
yeah,
sometimes is not my strong suit. And it's neat to see how they teach each other. Like it's just a very education rich environment
Yeah.
that is really special to me.
Yeah.
Every time I would go to give, I left receiving so much from
Yeah.
yeah,
the people.
I so appreciate, Ria, you reminding us of that because of our commonalities, that we've all I don't know, sometimes you tend to forget that maybe you're just thinking, yes, someone who's in a slum, all they're thinking is what's my next meal. But, then you forget, hey, they could have depression as well. That they're not all just strong women who are out there, yes, let's feed our children. They're trying to do that, but they're also trying to manage their own mental state as well. And I think that these days, sometimes we do get so caught up in what's happening in our worlds. We forget that it was one of the things that, so how I found out about Ria was I was at a dinner of Misty's, which she's going to tell us about soon. But Misty's daughter, Lily, was talking, and she's only, how old is she? 16?
She is 17. She
17.
just turned 17.
17, and she was just so beautiful in her words of saying, they're just like us. These kids that she used to play with, she said they're not alien. They're not, they're not so different. They love going to the playground just like we love going to the playground. But the difference was that their playground looks a lot different from our playground. But they still, when they were there, it was their joy and their happy place. And so I just think it's a beautiful reminder, especially as moms, as women as well, that, we all, I know that when my kids, for example, went to school or, once the kids are out of the home, it is really easy to, like you're saying, to get stuck in your own little world and be crying and be thinking, what's my purpose in life now? I've given birth. I've I've raised my kids a little bit. What do I do with myself now? So to be giving them a purpose and a community and then also be able to raise money is just beautiful.
Yeah, because most of these women often have such a backpack full of things to carry, right? It's not just
Oh.
a past, it's often like abuse or whatever, but as well having dealing with debts, not having a husband, not having a good job, or violence in the house, or not because of low self-esteem. This all adding up to the thing.
Mm.
So it's harder for them to go out than it will be for me, right? I just if I want something, I do it. I just go step up and do it, right? But they often so they limit themselves because of all these heavy wages they are carrying. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
And
beautiful.
they are
So,
responsible for the whole generation, so it's so important to do
yeah.
something. Yeah.
So that's where the school is now, because the school's big enough. The school has grown, hasn't it? So now you're big
Yeah.
enough that you're able to. Have you got
Yeah,
all
we
grades
started
at
with
the school?
yeah, we started with a preschool, and then every year we added a grade. And right now we are in fifth grade. So in March, when the Peruvian school year starts, we will add sixth grade. This is the last one. Yeah.
So their oldest grade is the same age as my son, Kingston.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was 4 when I met Ria in 2016. We started working with Ria and Jordy in these races that they would have. And then we found out that that grade level was growing and they weren't going to have enough money for the curriculum for that year. So our family, we had a grandchild in our family that passed away a long time ago. And so every year we come together and we donate. And like our family's goal, I was just telling Ria, is we want to come back when Kingston graduates, it'll be the year that grade graduates. And our family's goal is to come back to Peru to be at that graduation.
Wow.
But it's been such a neat experience to watch the school grow. And every year, like Ria said, God provides. Like they don't have the room. They don't have what, like in every year, like, you give and then it all just continues to thrive. And it's
You're
really
able to
amazing.
make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're just giving me God bumps. I love that. I love those sort of stories. I think
It's true, because so often we didn't have the space, but we just kept on going, and then a team would come in from the States and they would just build another classroom and like,
yeah.
let's do it like this, change this wall. Oops, there's another
Yeah.
wall. Yeah,
And
yeah,
now
it's really
Ria,
amazing.
because I mean, it's my understanding from Misty that you're the only hope there for these families, aren't you? There's not like lots of other necessarily big charities coming in.
Well, I don't want to see myself as the only hope, but I think sometimes we make so much sense there just to be a channel or just to be a part of, I think, the whole chain. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Because when we arrived, there was literally nothing, no school, no church, nothing. And right
Hmm.
now, we really are like a beacon of hope there. And sometimes people we've never seen, they will come to us. And I remember lately a young woman with a little daughter crying, crying, and said, Pastora, so they call me Pastora. Pastora, Pastora, can you please pray for me? And then I just want to listen, tell me. And she was so oppressed. And last Wednesday, after my woman group, she wasn't there. It's okay. But she came and said, I just have to meet you because I went to the hospital and everything was fine with my daughter. I just have to tell you.
Aw.
And she's shining. And then her situation hasn't changed. Her ex is treating her miserable, etc. But she has changed. And
Hmm.
thank you, Lord. We just doing our job right. But I
Yeah.
think, and in the Netherlands, you would go to the psychologist or this. And here it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Although there are, but it's so hard to get access to it, or they don't have the money, or always excuses.
That's
Yes.
it.
You just have to be
That's it.
there, knock on the door, how are you doing, and just make it easier for them to get
You've got to
access.
get there. You've got to pay for it. There's obstacles in the way, aren't there? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
have this part in the podcast where we like to dream big. So the podcast was originally inspired by my less attractive. Well, you're handsome, Richard. You're handsome, but Misty's beautiful.
You're so sweet.
Richard Harris, who he's normally here with me, Ria, and he wrote this book Imagine, and basically it's about imagining. Well, for me, it's it's inspired by John Lennon's song Imagine. You know how he imagines the world of brotherhood of man and just equality and all of those, a truly compassionate world. And that's what I love. That's what I hope for my family, for my children to live in. And I guess I hope to do it by starting with myself. But so what we like to do in this part, though, is have a little think about if our guest, and I'll ask Misty as well. So if you had all the power in the world today, if we look at things from a big picture, okay, and you had all the power in the world today, all the money you could do whatever with, how would you work to, what would your focus be? How would you brainstorm to make the world a better place? I mean, one of the things, so I'm gonna talk about here. So one of the things that was suggested in Richard's book was he's got this chapter on Mexico and what had happened in Mexico. And he suggested that, they would have maybe income redistribution. And he said, so in this, the poor suddenly were getting a fair share of the national income. There was a lot of debate as to how this would play out. What would the poor do with the level of wealth, and would it be put to good use? And then he's got a bit more there, and it says, the interesting discovery was that because they had spent so much time in abject poverty, the extra income that they now had was actually invested incredibly carefully and wisely. Micro projects to help their communities were the priorities, but also money was used in getting the best people from all over the world to educate them. So I guess that's a bit of an idea. Do you think this can happen? How would you make it happen from a systems perspective if you could?
Well, right now, having like practically lived for 12 years with the poor, I am not a fan of giving money. No way.
Yeah.
Sometimes some families take care, but some families don't know how to handle. If they would give us a huge amount of money, what I will do, make a huge center and provide working abilities for them.
Mm.
And that combined with school. Because so often here in Peru, the system is like you cannot finish your education because you have to work. And if you work, lower incomes, you have to work for 12 hours. And then traffic and coming home and have a family. And schools are so like, they put such a high standards, like they don't go with the needs of the people. No, it's like 5 years full education. So it's impossible for them to combine work and studying. So if you haven't
Right.
finished your secondary school, how can you ever finish? Well, finish secondary school right now in nighttime. We offer like a program from the government as well in Brass Abiertos. But then studying a career, like a job, a degree, it's hardly impossible. And I think there is where we have to do something to really break poverty. Because they will always stay in the same circle of poverty, earning so little and spending all the money on their needs, brings up again in debt because not having money, huge debts with huge interests, and we're always in the same circle. But to break that, I think we really have to educate the people, not just teaching them a job, but as well like break those values. Like I can't, I no work in
Mm.
that area.
Change their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, poverty is a mindset. It is a mindset. Yeah. We have different families. We have poor families, poor families. But the real poor families, you will notice when you come in, their house is a chaos. It's a
Mm.
disorder. And you see, like, you can be poor, but you can work, do everything you can to have it organized, to send your kids to school. The school is there. We have worked with families, and after like 2, 3 years, finally all kids are in school. But it took like 2, 3 years, but we gain something. But it's like walking with them for years to get these changes in them. But I think that is breaking poverty. To having to send their children to school, let's start there, that the kids go to school every day, there we start, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
giving them money, they might buy a big television. They might pay off their debts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
don't change like get up early, have your kids sent to school, organize it well, and no.
Yeah. Money, just the money is not going to do it. It's not going to
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to change the the way of thinking necessarily.
It's a mindset and help them deal with lies they're believing, with all these things. No, that you cannot do this or you're not educated. Help them break that and deal with that past and work on their self-esteem and make them strong people. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, yeah. I
no,
love it too.
no
It's not
wonder you're
easy.
doing. No wonder you're doing such a good job of running the school there because that's. I mean, that's.
Well, yeah, yeah. Because well, we have a church as well, and so often people think, "Oh, you build a church here, build a church there." But I think it's so important the word of God. But if it doesn't go together, it's really giving practical help and like education for me is the best. Because
Mm-hmm.
even if my mom has never studied, but I can, and I can break that thing in my family because it's often family and family and family. Like mom, they give it
Break the
they give it
cycle.
on to
Mm-hmm.
generations. It's a cycle. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if I had all the money in the world, well, I would invest in that because I think that gives really more happiness in people, right? To know
Yeah.
you can do something, you're happy in your job, and there is peace in the family because there's an income, etc. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, so
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
amazing.
I know. That's such a good answer.
yeah, yeah.
Well, now, then, so that's like the big systems picture of if we ruled the world. And now, then I like to bring it down and talk about what we can do today, what our listeners can do today to help in their lives, to help in someone else's life. And I guess today I wanted to talk, and I really did want to make it about action of what our listeners can do and to help you. To
Hmm.
help you, to help these families that are living in slums, these
Yeah,
mums that, need the support that we all need,
yeah.
these children that need an education, and teenagers that need some sort of community that isn't just, I don't know, in my mind, everywhere you're worried about your kids getting into gangs
Hmm.
or drugs or
Hmm.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what can
Getting
our
pregnant
list
here, that's the problem.
this
Getting pregnant at 13, 14 years
oh
of
my
age.
goodness,
Yeah,
kids having
yeah,
kids. It's
yeah,
that's that's
yeah,
that's a really hard cycle that then
yeah.
starts as well. So, what can we do to help you?
Well, very practical. Right now, we have all the plans ready to build the school.
Mm-hmm.
We have a school, but it's in a wooden building, and the it's not on our own property, and we have to leave the place. We have our own property. We've bought it like years ago through donations. Great, but now it's time to keep on building the school, and we don't want to buy a wooden building again because it's wasting so quickly. We really want to build a solid school
Mm-hmm.
which will last for years to come, and with where we can host all the programs as well for the men, the teenagers, the family, etc. So we are working on this project right now. Plans are ready, but we just need more money to come in to to build. The first phase is there. The first building, a little part of the building is already there, and there we host 3 classrooms, and we have rooms for volunteers and a family who's taking care of the building. So 3 classrooms are already there, but we really need to start building the preschool because in December we have to leave that area because the area the neighborhood
Where the old school is, where the wooden
yeah
one is, you
it's
have to leave there. Yeah.
it's destined for another thing. It's destined for their soccer field. So the whole community is waiting for us to go, and they've given us
Ah.
in December. We really have to leave, so we need another solution. So yeah, that's why we are working very hard on raising funds, praying hard, mobilizing people all over the world, and as well the parents, the whole school is helping out as well, and we are planning on a huge activity in this October
Mm-hmm.
22nd, like in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. We're organizing a run, not only here, but as well, people in our countries are running or are doing meals like Missy does or whatever, just to make it known. Often people don't know, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, what can I do with my money? Well, here is such a great, great opportunity to cooperate with us and give something of what you have, so that we can build a school and we can provide this to the community, schooling, and maybe we can even keep on growing and have a secondary school, which is our dream, or have more children come and
Yeah.
attend. So that's right now the main the
Now,
main project we're working on.
physically, how do they do it? Like, well, I'm going to be putting up your brazosabiertos.net, the website. Is that how our listeners, is that how they give money? Is that how they donate through there?
Yeah, it's possible. On our site, you will find a link, and then even if you live in the States, you can donate through Modern Day. It's an organization which helps us to receive the money and send it to us, so it's tax deductible for people giving out money in the States. And that's a way to give. Another way to help us is pray for the project. Another way is make it known to other people. The more people
Talk about
know,
it.
put in action, and it's not only for the people there. It's a blessing for your own life as well. It's
Yeah.
always a blessing to share the blessing that we have, right?
And so with the modern day, it's called modern day,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the
Our
link it
website
takes you to.
explains it.
And I just wanted to check, so for our listeners who are, say, in Europe or in Australia, are they able to do it through that as well?
Yeah, yeah. And if not, if it's hard for them to get access to modern day because of their bank or whatever, PayPal is also a way to send money through PayPal
Ah,
or to a Dutch bank account. And sometimes people ask, but what are you doing with the money? Well, if you send the money modern day or the banks, they will always take their necessary fees, right? Like
yes.
about the 7%. And
Yes.
everything else is just going straight to the ministry. We hardly have any other costs. It's all going to the project itself.
Okay. So
Yeah,
the only admin sort of costs are what you have to use through PayPal Modern, or the actual
yeah,
platform.
yeah. That's the
Okay.
only thing. Yeah.
That's
Another way to help, like what Missy is doing as well with her family, that's fabulous. Like as I told you, like we don't have a salary, but our teachers, our staff, they have, and
right.
we really have to cover their needs every month because we want to be like no, you don't want to fail in that area by not
Yeah.
paying them, paying late. What use? That's
Yeah.
so common here in Peru. So we have a project here, the Sponsor a Child project. We started years ago, and it gives opportunity to a family to sponsor a child for $50 a month, and that provides the education for a month. The education, if needed, a food package for the family, and as well the school supplies for 1 month. It covers it all.
So
So
that's
our
things like
aim,
uniform, and that it's helping to pay for the teachers. I mean, teachers deserve to be
yeah, the
paid as
salary,
well,
yeah,
don't they?
Yes.
yeah, yeah. It helps us to cover all those costs that we monthly have, and it's a blessing to a child as well. Some sponsors love to reach out to the child, send them a present, or even visit them. Like Missy is planning on
That's our
doing that.
goal.
Yeah, others don't want to do that. That's totally fine as well. But our aim is that every child has a sponsor, so that we don't have to worry so much for this monthly cost, and that everything can go to the building project or to other projects. Yeah,
Right. So being a child sponsor is something that's really just
yeah,
so helpful because it's ongoing as well. So
yeah,
I mean, so
definitely,
50
definitely.
dollars $50 a month. So
It's about $650 a year.
$650 a year.
And like in our family, we make it not just my husband and I doing it.
Yeah.
We have like all of the cousins, like my daughter babysits Lola and she gives $100 towards that. She also is doing $100 towards the race.
Yeah.
But even though we could just pay that, we make it like right now, Ria's very patient with us because every year we try to do it by my nephew Dylan's birthday in September, but everyone, the cousins and everyone, like it can be, you know, something the whole family can be a part of.
Yeah.
And then when Ria sends pictures, like I send it out to the whole family and it's
really
encouraging for
sweet.
them to know,
Yeah.
you know, they know what it looks like where Alejandro is learning and all of the things, but they know that the things that they're giving is going towards the education
And it's something that's actually bringing your family together as well.
Absolutely,
It's a beautiful
yes,
thing. So it's
yes.
not only creating community there, but it's creating community
well,
here.
and why Lily was so passionate at the dinner that we gave.
Yeah.
Because we pray for Alejandro, you know, if not every week, as often, you know, like we are always talking about him and his family. And when during COVID, Ria was wonderful and, you know, reached out and let us know how his family was doing. And so it's not just, you know, this mythical donation.
Yes.
It's like a human and his family.
Like a human. He is a
human. Like, you know, sometimes you give to things
That's
though, and
right.
you don't have a connection.
That's right.
And I think, to me, connection is everything.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're, like, I'm very connected to Ria and her family, and I know what it looks like where they are, and I look up to them so much that I think the connection gives me energy that then, you know, transfers.
And gives you faith in where your money's going and that as well.
Absolutely.
And where your prayers or love is going. And actually, so Ria, I wanted to talk to Misty about this part as well, because listeners, Misty has this, well, I think it's a fabulous idea as well. So can you tell us a little bit about what your family, or what you're doing at the moment on a monthly or bi-monthly, whenever basis to have a sense of agency, to get some action in your neck of the woods?
Well, the idea actually came during our time in Peru. There was a group of women that were part of a dinner club. And the concept was, we came together and we dined together, but we brought potluck dishes.
What does potluck mean? Because in
So
Australia, we don't use the word potluck.
That's where we don't even put a theme to what, like, we don't say it's going to be Italian food or Mexican food. We just say, bring your favorite dish.
Okay, yeah.
And then I do try to make it where they know dinner, side, or dessert.
Yes.
So, because we had a few times in Peru that everyone brought dessert, and you're
I would
really
love
hungry.
that. I would love that. That's my type of dinner. Well, and actually, and you know what I'll do? I'll get you to send me the link, because you have a little website or something that you use for that.
Well, just for each one.
Yeah.
I have,
So
I do
I'll
like
put
a
that up as
website.
well.
Yes, a sign up genius kind
Yeah.
of thing. But then the concept is, then you donate what you would have spent if we had met out as ladies and had a ladies' night at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I mean, even in that night, the one we just had, we had $25 and we had $150. Some of us eat better than others. So,
Yeah.
but I think it's wonderful because you can connect. In, that night, we raised all together $1,000, and that was an exciting thing for just a girls' night out. And we still had the most incredible food.
Yeah.
I mean, I was asking for recipes after that night, and then we're able to give to the school, and you can leave feeling good and knowing,
right.
you know, and those ladies that were there that never even knew this school existed, now we have even more people on this team, you know, that's going to help this Brazos Abiertos get their school. Like, that, I think, is going to be such a beautiful moment.
That's
when
it. And we're not, and I mean, obviously we're suggesting, you know, you could do it for Brazos Abiertos, the potluck dinner. You can do it for a different charity, whatever it is. There's so many people, obviously, that need help around the world.
Absolutely.
But just expanding your ideas as well of different ways that you can help without it necessarily just being going on, pushing a button on a computer. Actually making it, again, bringing people together, having community as well, because all of these things, I don't know about everyone else out there, but all of those things are totally what energizes me.
Definitely.
So, and having a get together with a purpose is, it just warms my
and
heart.
not feeling like if all you have to give is $10. I think the biggest thing in working overseas is that a lot of people don't want to be the one to head something up, but they want to give. So if you're someone that is good at organizing, if you just give people a way to be able to support and give, that my daughter is doing in conjunction with our fundraising, she's doing the race that Ria's speaking of at her school, but she's doing her version of it. And Ria and Jordy are so great. They are just like, however you want to figure it out, Misty, you guys run with it. And so Lily got llama stickers and she's so excited, and everyone there is loving it, but they didn't necessarily want to be a coordinator but they want to join and do their version of the race and be involved in something making a difference.
So they're going to be doing it sort of like you pay $10 to be in the race sort of thing?
They're actually sponsoring the children and the teachers from the school.
Yeah.
So they're doing like a sponsorship where then the kids there get the swag and all the things in Peru with their donation. And then instead of actually going out and running a 10K all at once, they're going to take a week and they're going to get their mileage around campus.
Ah, what a good idea
And that way it kind of takes the pressure off parents.
Yes.
And then there's not a big event that you have to necessarily. So it's bringing awareness, getting the kids physically involved. Yeah. And then they're also sharing the videos, and it's, you know, just raising awareness.
Yeah. I actually love that it's over a week, and I think there's probably a lot of listeners as well that love the idea of doing 10Ks over a week.
Yes.
And again, because that's like, then it becomes a week. It doesn't need to just be a day. It doesn't have to be on the 22nd of October.
No, whenever.
But you know, Ria's obviously, so online you'll be able to find out more information about that if you're interested in getting involved with the actual fun run. There's so many other ideas, and if anyone else has any ideas as to what they do to raise awareness, raise money, you know, for things in need, let us know, because this is how we share it, isn't it? This is how we share the knowledge and our wisdom as well.
We love to hear all these ideas that we hear about all over the world, and we publish them. We publish them on our website, so people get inspired, and it's just nice,
beautiful.
Right?
So like you take photos and that as well, and you then Ria can put it on the website to show.
Yeah, we have a friend. He said, "Oh, I don't like running, but I can skate." So he's doing ice skating with a friend, and he gets support for every lap he skates, and that's just a way like you can
I love it.
do it, right?
Oh my goodness. Oh well, I hope that we've given everyone a feel for not only life in Peru, but you know, what's going on out there, and how we can, some different ways we can help and actually take some action as well. And what's the way, how else do we keep in touch with you, Ria? Besides the website, which I'll put up, brazosabiertos.net, is there Facebook, social media, Instagram, or anything like that?
Yeah, on our website you will find out. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, it's all there. And we make newsletters every 2 months. I write a newsletter with things that are coming up, or just I share funny stories that we don't share on the website. So you can always sign up for that as well.
So there's like a sign up part, subscription.
For email. Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Oh. And another way is visiting us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, we have people who say like, "Oh, I would like to help out. Can I come for a week or serve there or just visit?" Yeah, always welcome, and just get in touch with us, and welcome.
I mean, if you are ever in Peru, I am not kidding. It will change your life. It is such a wonderful, you don't like taking our extended family. We took the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, we took all of our family. And as we drove there, you could just see their eyes, because to hear it and to watch a video it's powerful. But to drive up and to be there, but still, like Lily said, the children are happy and they're running around, and the teachers are just beautiful educators there. So I definitely think if anyone is ever in Lima, I hope that you would take some time and go,
because Peru has a lot to offer. I mean,
definitely
the Amazon.
Yes. Machu Picchu.
Mm-hmm. So you can organize this entire fabulous holiday, see all of Peru, but then see some of the real Peru as well. How incredible is that? I love that idea.
Yes, do it. We need to talk to your husband. We're going to get off this podcast and we're going to make it happen.
We organize you a good meal, huh?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I won't be cooking.
We actually had lomo saltado at our dinner.
Really?
So we did. I have a Peruvian friend here. She's actually from Peru. So I talked her into coming over. And then we also had concha. She made concha for us, and so it was fun.
Nice.
Yes.
Good. And when our listeners go to visit Peru, they'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. The best beef, it's like a beef stir fry. And then out on the table, they put corn that is like, would you say it's fried?
Oh, that was delicious.
Yeah, and like kind of popped,
It
right?
popped a little, yeah.
But
it's
not
super-
not popcorn, but it was
not
like
popcorn.
yeah,
It's like
different.
an oversized corn. But anyway,
Different time.
It was
very fun.
delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah.
And learning about other cultures is just amazing. I have so much more that we could talk about, but we're going to have to wrap it up. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, Ria. Thank you for taking time out to speak to us. Just amazing. What you were
Yeah.
doing, bringing up 3 children whilst you're there, bringing up like a whole community. It's just incredible. And I wanted to thank Misty as well for joining me today.
Well, thank you for the invitation
bringing
and
Ria
letting
to
me
us.
see my friend. It's exciting.
Yeah, good to see you.
I
After
know,
such a long
very
time.
nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. Thank you so much for taking time, and yeah, it's encouraging and it helps us. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much. And so everyone, please check out the website. I'll put all of the links up there. If you're just listening, then I'll have the links in the bio comment section, whatever it is, under the podcast. And if you liked this podcast, please share it with friends, follow, comment. I don't know, Richard normally says whatever you're supposed to do there. But let's get the word out. Let's spread the word of the importance of dreaming and the importance of supporting each other. Thank you so much, and we will speak to you again soon. Bye-bye, everyone.